Heartland fans, get ready, because everything is about to change. The Season 19, Episode 2 trailer has dropped, and it's not just another calm day at the ranch. There's something deeper, something heartbreaking. In just a few short moments, we see Lyndy, the bright, brave girl we've watched grow up, standing alone, tears in her eyes, near the old barn. The tone, the silence, even the way the wind moves through the fields tells us this episode isn't about adventure or horses. It's about pain, love, and growing up too soon. This isn't just a normal episode. This is the kind of story that stays with you long after the credits roll. The trailer opens with the peaceful glow of a morning sunrise over Heartland Ranch. Birds singing, horses grazing, and Amy walking across the yard with that quiet strength we've come to know so well. It feels like a new beginning, the kind of day where anything is possible. But even in that calm, there's a strange sense that something's off, a heaviness you can't quite name. The camera lingers on Lyndy brushing her horse, Promise. Her smile is soft, but her eyes are distant. It's the first hint that something is wrong. We hear Amy's voice in the background saying softly, "Sometimes we have to let go, even when it hurts." Her words echo as the screen fades to black, and suddenly, the tone changes. The music shifts. Low piano notes, slow and uncertain. We see a quick flash of Lyndy running through the pasture, calling out her horse's name. Then another shot. Amy, looking toward the horizon, her face filled with quiet fear. That's when we know this episode isn't about the simple beauty of ranch life. It's about loss. In the next moment, the trailer cuts to Jack, sitting on the porch with his coffee, watching the sky darken. His expression says everything. The kind of worry that comes from years of knowing heartbreak all too well. The ranch feels different. Even the wind seems heavier, carrying whispers of something gone wrong. Then a short glimpse. Promise's stall, empty. The saddle left hanging. The halter dropped in the dirt. A slow zoom onto Lyndy's boots as she steps closer, her breathing uneven. The background music fades, and there's silence. Heartland has always told stories of healing, family, and hope. But this moment feels different, raw and real. We see Amy walk up behind Lyndy, her hand gently resting on her daughter's shoulder. Lyndy turns to her with teary eyes and whispers, "Why does it hurt so much, Mom?" That one line, only a few words, hits harder than any dramatic scene could. It's not about the horse, not really. It's about growing up, about the first time a child learns what it means to lose something they love. The trailer doesn't show us what happened. That's the mystery that pulls us in. Was it an accident? Did Lyndy have to say goodbye to Promise? Or is something deeper going on, something that connects to Amy's past? Whatever it is, the story is about to take a turn that will test every character's strength. And that's where the beauty of Heartland lies. Not in the big moments, but in the quiet ones. The tears that fall when no one's watching. The courage to keep moving forward when it feels impossible. Episode 2 promises to be one of those rare, emotional chapters. A reminder that even in heartbreak, there's always hope waiting on the horizon. Before we dive deep into Lyndy's heartbreak, we need to look back. Because everything that's about to happen in Episode 2 has roots planted in the first chapter of this new season. Episode 1 wasn't just a reintroduction to Heartland. It was a gentle storm brewing under clear skies. It reminded us that peace in Heartland never lasts forever. It's the calm before something life-changing. We saw Amy at a crossroads. She's always been strong, but lately her strength feels heavier, like it's built from old wounds that never really healed. In Episode 1, she worked with a troubled horse named Promise, the very one that Lyndy grows close to. From the first moment they meet, it's clear there's something special there, a bond that feels almost fated. Lyndy's laughter as she brushes Promise's mane is pure, innocent, and full of hope. But even then, Amy's face tells a different story. Behind her smile hides a quiet fear, as if she knows how fragile happiness can be. The episode also gave us glimpses of the wider family. Lou, balancing her responsibilities as mayor while struggling to stay present for her loved ones. Jack, the emotional anchor of Heartland, watching everyone grow and hurt and heal in cycles. his eyes always carrying stories we'll never fully know. And Tim, still searching for purpose, still trying to be the man his family needs him to be. Every scene in episode 1 whispered the same truth. Things change, even in the places that feel timeless. But what stood out most, what truly lingered, was Lyndy. We've watched her grow from a curious little girl into a young soul with her mother's courage and her father's spirit. There's a light in her that feels almost too pure for this world, and that's why her upcoming heartbreak feels so devastating. Episode 1 ended with a moment that now feels almost prophetic. Amy watching Lyndy ride Promise across the open field as the sun set behind them. The camera lingered on Amy's face, and for a brief second, her smile faded. It was subtle but powerful, a sign that she sensed something was coming. The dialogue from that final scene echoes now with haunting meaning. Amy said, "Sometimes the ones we love the most are the ones we can't protect." At the time, it sounded like wisdom passed from mother to daughter, but now it feels like a warning, one that foreshadows everything that episode 2's trailer reveals. Every frame of that first episode, the laughter at breakfast, the warmth of the barn, the sunset over the paddocks, now feels like a goodbye. It's as if Heartland was showing us everything Lyndy had to lose before it took it away. The writers are weaving something powerful this season, a story about love, loss, and the lessons that shape who we become. Episode 1 wasn't just a beginning, it was the setup for a test, one that will push Amy and Lyndy to their limits, a test that will show if healing is possible when your heart breaks for the first time. Because in Heartland, heartbreak isn't just an ending, it's the first step towards something new. The trailer for Heartland. Season 19, Episode 2 doesn't scream its emotions, it whispers them. There are no big explosions, no fast cuts, no dramatic speeches. Instead, it relies on silence, on moments that say everything without a single word. That's what makes it powerful. The stillness, the pauses, the way the camera lingers on faces and empty spaces. It all feels intentional, like every second is holding a secret it's not ready to share. The first shot sets the tone immediately. The ranch under gray skies, wind brushing through the tall grass, the familiar barn standing like a quiet witness to the pain ahead. There's a haunting piano melody playing softly, not sad, but heavy with meaning. We see Lyndy standing by the paddock fence, clutching Promise's halter in her small hands. Her eyes are fixed on the empty field. The light around her is dim, as if even the sun can't bear to shine too bright on this day. It's a breathtaking shot, one that captures the essence of Heartland: love, loss, and the passage of time. Then comes a flash of Amy, her expression calm, but her eyes full of worry. She's in the barn, brushing a horse, lost in thought. The camera zooms in slowly, catching a flicker of fear in her gaze, as if she already knows what's about to happen. A faint voiceover plays, Amy's voice, soft and trembling. Sometimes, love teaches us lessons we're not ready to learn. It's such a simple line, yet it carries the weight of generations. The kind of truth that every Heartland fan understands deeply. The trailer then jumps through moments that feel like puzzle pieces. Short, disconnected clips that make your heart race. Jack standing near the corral, his hat in his hands, looking down as though he's remembering something painful. Lou and Katie exchanging a worried glance in the kitchen. A door slamming. Lyndy running through the rain, calling Promise's name. And then, silence again. The screen goes black for a second before we hear a sob. Just one soft, broken sound, followed by the faintest whisper of Amy saying, "Lyndy, it's chilling, but not in a dark way. It's emotional, real, and utterly Heartland." The beauty of this show has always been how it captures grief without losing its warmth. Even in its saddest moments, it teaches us that pain doesn't mean the end. It means something new is beginning. The trailer uses that theme brilliantly. The way it fades between light and shadow, hope and despair, feels almost poetic. As the trailer nears its end, there's one final image. Lyndy standing at the edge of the field as the rain stops, Her face wet with tears, but her posture strong. Behind her, Amy walks slowly forward, carrying a blanket. She wraps it around Lyndy's shoulders, and together, they look out over the ranch. No words are spoken, only the soft echo of the piano fades into the sound of thunder far away. That last image tells us everything we need to know. Episode 2 will not just be about heartbreak. It will be about how people hold each other up when the world feels too heavy. It's a story of mothers and daughters, of loss and resilience. And the trailer, without a single loud moment, manages to make us feel every ounce of that emotion. It's the kind of storytelling that reminds us why Heartland has endured for 19 seasons. Because it doesn't just show life, it feels it. There's a moment in the trailer that every Heartland fan can't stop thinking about. Lyndy's tears. That small, fragile image of her breaking down near the barn isn't just about a lost horse or a bad day. It's something deeper. The first clue lies in Lyndy's bond with Promise. From the start of season 19, we've seen how special that connection is. Promise isn't just any horse. She's the first one Lyndy trained on her own, the one that listened only to her voice. There was trust there, the kind that takes time and heart to build. So when we see Lyndy's heartbreak in the trailer, it feels personal, like she's losing more than just a friend. She's losing a piece of herself. Heartland has always been about the connection between humans and horses, but this moment seems to push that idea further. Lyndy's tears aren't just about an animal. They're about understanding for the first time what it means to love something that can't stay forever. It's the moment she realizes that even the most beautiful parts of life can change, fade, or disappear. It's a hard lesson, and one that Amy knows too well. If we listen closely to Amy's line in the trailer, sometimes we have to let go, even when it hurts. It's clear that she's not just talking about a horse. She's preparing Lyndy for something bigger, something that echoes through every generation of Heartland women. The pain of holding on when you know you have to release. It's the same lesson Amy learned when she lost Ty, the same one Marion understood before her time. The circle continues, but this time, it's through Lyndy's eyes. Some fans believe Lyndy's heartbreak might come from Promise getting sick, or perhaps being sent away for training. But others think it's more symbolic. Maybe Lyndy's heartbreak isn't about Promise at all, but about the memory of her father resurfacing. The show has been slowly weaving in hints of Ty's presence, photos, mentions, even the way Amy pauses before talking about the past. Could it be that something triggers Lyndy to feel that missing space in her life more strongly than ever before? The heartbreak might not be caused by one event, but by the realization that love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes, it means letting go. What makes this story so beautiful is how the show doesn't dramatize it. There's no shouting, no big scene, just quiet emotion. Lyndy sitting by the fence, Amy beside her, both of them understanding pain in their own way. The scene reminds us that heartbreak doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it's just silence, a deep ache that sits inside you and teaches you something words never could. Lyndy's heartbreak will likely be a turning point, the moment she begins to grow into her mother's strength. This isn't the kind of sadness that breaks you forever. It's the kind that shapes you. Through her pain, Lyndy will learn empathy, courage, and maybe even a new kind of love. One that understands loss but keeps going anyway. That's the heart of Heartland. Finding beauty in the broken and hope in the hurt. The beauty of Heartland has never just been about horses. It's about the people who carry the weight of their past while trying to protect their future. And in Season 19, Episode 2, that theme feels stronger than ever. The trailer may center around Lyndy's heartbreak, but if you look closely, you can see how every character is caught in their own quiet storm. The episode doesn't just explore one person's pain. It shows how heartbreak ripples through a family like waves on water. Let's start with Amy. She's the heart of Heartland. But even hearts can grow tired. We see her in the trailer with that familiar calm, the same grace she's always had when life gets hard. But there's something new in her eyes. Exhaustion. Not the physical kind, but the emotional kind that comes from carrying too much for too long. For years, Amy has been the healer. Of horses, of people, of herself. But now, watching her daughter's pain, She's realizing that she can't protect Lyndy from life. It's a lesson she's faced before, but this time it's harder, because it's her child who's hurting. Her quiet moments in the trailer, brushing a horse, staring out the barn window, say more than any line of dialogue could. They show a mother learning to let her daughter feel pain without fixing it. Then there's Jack. Every time something happens at Heartland, Jack is the anchor. The old soul who's seen more loss than anyone but still believes in love. In the trailer, there's a haunting shot of him standing on the porch, watching Amy and Lyndy from a distance. His eyes are filled with empathy, but also memory. You can almost hear his thoughts, remembering Marion, remembering Ty, remembering every time the family's been tested. Jack knows that heartbreak is a teacher, not an enemy. But as he watches Lyndy, you can tell he wishes he could take her pain and carry it for her. Lou's storyline seems to be simmering in the background, but that's exactly how Heartland works. Small hints now often lead to big emotions later. She's juggling her responsibilities as mayor and sister, and the trailer suggests that something might finally give. There's a scene of her standing in the kitchen, holding her phone, looking torn. Maybe she's struggling to balance her life in Hudson with her family's emotional needs. Maybe her leadership is being tested in ways that echo the ranch's emotional strain. One thing's clear: Lou will be forced to choose where her heart truly belongs. And then there's Tim, the eternal wanderer. The trailer shows a quick shot of him in the stables, his hands resting on a saddle, looking thoughtful. He's a man who's made mistakes, who's spent years trying to make up for them. It wouldn't be surprising if Lyndy's pain brings something out in him. A reflection of the times he wasn't there for Amy or his family. There's growth in his silence, regret in his stillness. Maybe this time he'll be the one offering quiet wisdom instead of quick judgment. All these threads, Amy's strength, Jack's wisdom, Lou's pressure, Tim's guilt, weave together into the fabric of Heartland's storytelling. And in the center of it all is Lyndy, the youngest member of the family, unknowingly teaching them something they'd all forgotten: that even in heartbreak, love holds them together. Episode 2 feels like it's going to test the entire family's faith in one another, but it's also going to remind us, and them, why they've survived every storm before. Because at Heartland, pain doesn't pull people apart. It brings them closer. The cracks don't break the circle. They make it stronger. Every frame of Heartland tells a story. Not just through words, but through symbols, colors, and silence. Season 19. Episode 2 feels drenched in quiet meaning. The trailer doesn't just show us heartbreak. It paints it through nature, light, and space. To truly understand Lyndy's journey, you have to read the story between the lines. The sunsets, the storms, the still moments when the world seems to hold its breath. That's the hidden language of Heartland. The first symbol that stands out is the storm. In the trailer, we see clouds rolling over the ranch, the sky bruised with gray and violet. It's not random. Heartland has always used weather as an emotional mirror. A storm isn't just bad weather here, it's a warning, a transformation. When the sky darkens, it's the show's way of saying change is coming. Painful, necessary change. Lyndy's heartbreak is the storm, yes, but maybe it's also the rain that the family needs to grow again. The ranch has seen hundreds of storms over the years, but this one feels personal. Then there's the barn, Heartland's beating heart. In the trailer, it's where Lyndy breaks down, where Amy finds her, where the quiet understanding passes between them. The barn isn't just a building, it's a place of memory. Marion trained horses there. Ty and Amy shared their early dreams there. Every inch of that space holds echoes of love, loss, and healing. So when Lyndy cries inside it, it's as if the past itself is watching, comforting her, teaching her what generations before her already learned. That pain is part of the story. Another subtle detail is the light. Notice how the trailer moves from golden sunlight to gray rain, and then to soft twilight. It's not random cinematography, it's storytelling. The light follows Lyndy's emotional path: joy, confusion, heartbreak, and finally, acceptance. In the last moments of the trailer, when Amy wraps the blanket around her daughter, the light changes again. The clouds part slightly, letting a faint pale glow fall across them. That's not just pretty lighting, it's visual poetry. It's saying that even after heartbreak, there's warmth waiting to return. The horses themselves are also powerful symbols. Promise isn't just an animal. She's freedom, innocence, and trust embodied. When Lyndy bonds with her, it's her first taste of independence, her first lesson in responsibility. So losing Promise, or even fearing that loss, becomes a symbol of growing up. Every child has that moment when they realize the world isn't always kind. For Lyndy, Promise represents that truth. The show has always used horses as emotional mirrors, reflecting the characters' inner struggles, and this time, it's Lyndy's soul we see through them. Finally, there's silence. The unspoken dialogue that defines Heartland. The quiet pauses between words. The way Amy looks away before speaking. The long shots of open fields. Silence in Heartland is never empty. It's sacred. It's the sound of emotion too big for speech. In episode 2, that silence feels heavier, almost sacred, like everyone is holding something inside, waiting for the right moment to release it. All these symbols, the storm, the barn, the horses, the light, weave together to tell a story that words alone can't. They remind us that Heartland isn't just about what happens, it's about what lingers, the emotions that stay behind long after the episode ends. The way a scene of wind over grass can make you remember your own heartbreaks, your own moments of hope. That's the magic of Heartland. It doesn't just tell. The moment the trailer for Heartland Season 19 Episode 2 dropped, fans everywhere felt it. That sudden, heavy tug in the chest that only this show can bring. It's more than just excitement for a new episode. It's a collective ache, a shared heartbeat. The Heartland fandom has always been different. They don't just watch the show, they live it. And as soon as Lyndy's tear-stained face appeared in that trailer, social media filled with a mixture of heartbreak, nostalgia, and raw emotion. Many fans believe that Lyndy's pain will mark the start of a bigger emotional arc, one that could echo the legacy of Amy's own story. Theories are already flooding online. Some think Lyndy will lose Promise in a tragic accident, while others believe this heartbreak will be more emotional than physical, perhaps linked to her father, Ty. One fan wrote that Lyndy's tears feel like the moment she finally understands who her dad was and why his absence still shapes her life. That idea has struck a chord with thousands of viewers, reminding everyone that Heartland's power has always come from its emotional honesty, not just its plot twists. Other fans are focusing on Amy, wondering how this heartbreak will affect her. The trailer hints that she might be forced to relive her own grief, watching her daughter experience what she once did. There's speculation that Episode 2 will show Amy finally confronting the parts of her past she's avoided for years. Maybe through teaching Lyndy how to heal the same way she once did after losing Ty. Fans predict that we'll see a quieter, more introspective Amy this season. Not broken, but deeply reflective. One popular fan theory even suggests that Amy's late-night barn scene in the trailer could be a moment of spiritual connection. Maybe a quiet conversation with Ty's memory, as she searches for the right words to comfort their daughter. The fandom's emotional reactions show just how deeply Heartland continues to connect across generations. Viewers who started watching as teenagers are now parents themselves, relating more to Amy and Jack than to Lyndy. Younger fans see themselves in Lyndy's innocence, her courage, and her confusion about love and loss. Everyone finds a reflection of their own story somewhere in the Heartland family. But amidst all the predictions and tears, there's one common message in the fan community: hope. No matter how painful the episode looks, fans trust that Heartland will do what it always does. Remind us that healing takes time, but it always comes. The show doesn't use heartbreak to destroy. It uses it to rebuild. For 19 seasons, that's been its quiet promise. As Episode 2 approaches, the excitement is mixed with something deeper: reverence. Fans know they're not just watching another story. They're watching a generational echo. Lyndy's heartbreak isn't just hers. It's Amy's, Ty's, Jack's, and in some way, ours too. It's the shared reminder that pain is a part of love, and love, even when broken, never truly disappears. So when the episode finally airs, millions of fans will be ready, coffee in hand, tissues nearby, hearts wide open. Because that's what Heartland does best. It breaks you softly and then teaches you how to heal again. And as the screen fades to black and the credits roll, one thing will be clear. The story of Heartland isn't just happening on screen anymore. It's happening inside everyone who watches.